everyone, Katie here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a react video, and we're going to be reacting to Entitled Parents of Reddit. So I went on the Entitled Parents subreddit and grabbed a bunch of posts from there, and I'm just going to be reading them and reacting to them. So I have not pre-read any of these. I just grabbed them from the site and put them in a document, and that was all I did. So I didn't read them all. I just read the titles, and that's about it. So I'm going to do just a couple of them. There's 7. I'm going to be doing 7 of them. Okay, the first one is titled, My Old Boy Scout Troop. Oh boy, this is a long story. Here's some backstory. So when I was in 1st grade, I joined Cub Scouts. I was excited my aunt was a troop leader. Fast forward a while, my aunt left as the troop leader. A new troop leader was in. From then on, it was hell for me. So to begin, I was earning badges like my cooking badge, wilding badge, etc. My mom called them out. The troop leader's wife said that I had to take notes every step of the way, and that it's not scout-like. Before that, 2 kids called me fat for chugging juice boxes. I told an adult who could say something and say they're in trouble. They didn't do anything. So of course I was upset. My best friend was sitting at the table, giving me an awkward stare. We didn't say anything. Later I left the troop and didn't look back. Fast forward to middle school, I meet a new friend who I'll call Jake for the story. They joined that same troop. He was asking me to join it. I told him that I wouldn't. He kept insisting. I kept telling him no. He accepted it and told me the troop was dying. During local parades the troop is in, it gets smaller. I'm filled with joy every time. Rewind to when my great-grandpa died. He was donating money to my troop. See, the troop didn't know who was donating it. When they found out who they were, insisted I would get my badges. I hope that troop dies soon. Since I left, people started to leave, realizing what they put me through. They always loved it when I was there. By they, I mean the other scouts. I was able to make joke after joke with pretty funny shirts, too. I don't really see how this is an Entitled Parents post. I don't really understand it. So basically you just had a bad time in Cub Scouts, and that was it. I don't know. I didn't understand that one. Okay, we're moving on. Okay, this one is called, Karen Told Me Not to Walk on the Lawns. I, 13 female, was walking home from a carnival that's in town. I was feeling really dehydrated, felt like I was going to have a heat stroke soon, and my feet were hurting bad, but I was so close to home, so I took a way I always took when I walked home from school. I was just about to go on the road when a woman maybe in her 60s started this. Karen honks her car horn and opens the door. Karen, hey, you can't walk on the lawn. Me, okay, sorry, geez. Karen, geez, I've lived here for 30 or 40 years and I like the grass. Me, okay. I tried so hard to not say, look, I don't want to die from a heat stroke, but if I did, it wouldn't be my fault because I'm trying to get home safe and sound. But I didn't want police called on me or just get in trouble. I also saw a man with a box on a wheelchair, and he had no problem with it. Okay. Again, don't know how this is Entitled Parents. It could just be a Karen post. I don't get how this is Entitled Parents either. Maybe I should have screened these posts more, because this is not Entitled Parents in my eyes. Okay, the next one is Golf Cart Grandpa Thinks We're Going to Rob His House. It was a nice Carolina summer day, and me and my brother Jackson were driving my grandpa's golf cart around the cul-de-sac, playing Mario Kart music, when we briefly stopped around 4 feet from GCG, it says Golf Cart Grandpa, driveway to switch songs. GCG comes out with an angry look on his face. Can I help you kids? He says that grumpily, and Jackson says, no, we're just driving around for fun. The grandpa says, what are you kids checking out? And OP says, nothing, we're just driving around, we aren't looking at anything. I put the cart in reverse and pull into my grandpa's driveway. GCG starts following us. At this point, I'm panicking a bit. GCG, is this your house? Jackson, yes. GCG, what? Jackson, yes, this is our grandpa's house. GCG, and can you prove it? What's your grandpa's name? And Jackson says, Jackson runs inside to alert my grandpa, and I run into the backyard to get my things. GCG starts complaining. GCG angrily begins to banter with my grandpa. GCG, you think this is funny, Cypher? 2 kids in a golf cart? Don't try and play this as a joke. My grandpa rightfully tells him that we are allowed to drive the golf cart and that we weren't trying to cause any mischief. GCG leaves angrily. We weren't playing our music loudly, nor were we at any point on GCG's property. GCG clearly thought we were up to something, although I highly doubt he thought we were planning an Ocean 11-style heist. All names in the story are fake. I don't feel like this is a entitled parents one either. Grumpy old man, maybe. Karen, you can call him Karen, maybe. But entitled parents, I don't know. These last 3, I'm like, should these even be stories? Like, okay. A mother thought we owed her family a free meal for her son's birthday. So I've been working at a relatively well-known restaurant in Canada for a while now, about 2 years, so I've had my share of bad customers. Yesterday, though, I had to serve possibly the worst customer I've ever had to deal with. So at the time, I was a little over halfway done with my shift, and the shift was going fine as usual. Some regular customers, some annoying children, the usual customers you'd see at a family restaurant. I was serving this one family at one point who seemed to be regular customers as usual, but the first problem with them came when I asked the husband, who at the time was ordering a beer, if he was going to be driving tonight. Now, I usually do this just so that I know whether or not I need to remove the alcohol from the order as to prevent them driving under the influence with a child. Most people don't seem to care that I ask and will respond. However, apparently me asking that seemed to rub the husband off the wrong way, as him and his wife began scolding me, telling me that I should mind my own business, that I need to back off before they call my manager down to their table. I explained to them that I was only asking so that I knew they wouldn't be driving under the influence for the safety of their child as well as themselves. They still refused to answer, so I just got rid of the alcohol on their order regardless, just in case. The rest of my time serving them was fine until it came to paying the bill. You see, when I asked how they'd like to pay after handing them the bill, they said that they believed they should get a free meal, as it was their 9-year-old son's birthday and it was a day to celebrate. I told them that we don't do that, and that the closest we do that for is giving the birthday kid a free bowl of gelato. They declined and said they'd like to trade the free gelato out for a free meal, as if their meal was equal to the small bowl of gelato that we gave out. Once again, I told them no, and the wife apparently got mad that she felt it was appropriate to take the dirty plates on their table and smash them on the ground and curse at me. Keep in mind she's doing this because I told them they have to pay for the meal they ordered. Eventually, I just got fed up with the BS back and forth and got my manager down to the table. My manager eventually got them to pay for the meal and rightfully kicked them out. Worst entitled customer I've ever had to deal with. Okay, I think what happened here was the first half of your story. Are you allowed to ask people about the alcohol if they're going to be driving? Is that like a policy for your restaurant? Because I really don't think you can refuse someone alcohol service unless they're like underage or whatever. So they ordered alcohol, and because you didn't like their response, you didn't give them the alcohol? I think that's what put them in the bad mood to act entitled. Not that they should have acted entitled, but I feel like that possibly could have put them in a bad mood. Okay, the next one is called You're Confusing My Kids. I was wearing pants. I, 24 female, live in the part of Ontario, Canada, with a heavy Mennonite population. If you don't know what Mennonite is, think a mild version of Amish. Some will dress very modestly, causing visitors from outside Ontario to mistake them for Amish. Others will dress more modern but still remain modest, no shoulders showing, and women wear pants. I am not Mennonite at all, outside my legal middle name after my mom's best friend, who is type B Mennonite. I live downtown at the heart of Mennonite Central, so I will occasionally go to the restaurants that are there. Mennonite food is so much better than a lot of the stuff served at the grocery store or a regular chain restaurant. One day when I was 22, while waiting for my food as I was on my way somewhere, I was scrolling my phone looking at memes. Suddenly, a type A Mennonite approached me. "Excuse me, miss." I put my phone in my pocket and looked over. "Sorry, am I in your way?" "No, you need to go change into something more appropriate." Confused. "Do I have a hole in my pants? I should buy new pants." "That's the problem, you're wearing pants." Now even more confused. "Sorry?" "You are confusing my kids. They thought you were a boy who refused to cut his hair." Looking at my hair. "I am due for a haircut, so what does my hair have to do with your complaint?" "Your outfit is confusing my kids. They're going to think it's okay for girls to wear pants." Now getting annoyed. "Look, I'm not Mennonite. That is all you need to know. More and more girls in this town are wearing pants and shorts. I don't even own a dress. Now, if you don't mind, I need to eat this and get to where I need to go before this gets ugly." My order gets called and I grab my food. I go to leave when the mom grabs me. "Your parents should be ashamed of you for leaving the church. I hope they shunned you." "My parents aren't Mennonites either. Now let me go, please." "Not until you." Her husband pulls her off me. "I am sorry about that. Have a good day, miss." "Thanks, you too." I left the restaurant and ate my food. I know this isn't very climactic, but I only remembered the story when I showed up the other day to get a sandwich from them. It makes me wonder if they were new to the area or they don't go into town often. Okay, so my reaction to that last one, okay, that was an entitled parent. Yeah, so, my bad. The next one is called Bad Day at the Beach Because of Karen. So I, transmale 18, live in Quebec, Canada. I'm writing this in the car on the way back home. So context, I was unfortunately sexually assaulted at 15 by an uncle, and I have trouble with people touching me. If you see my other posts, I live in a condo with my cousin Alexander, 19, in the biggest city in Quebec. As a recap of a previous post, Alexander and I lived together because he wanted to escape his abusive mom and dad, my aunt and uncle. He used to live with our grandparents but moved in with me when they left to go on a Euro trip. We were already close, and now that we live in the same condo, we are basically like siblings. Also important is that I have a tattoo on my lower back. It's just a rose with some cool patterns. It does stick out if I'm wearing shorts, bend down, or sit down. Last week, Alexander and I went back to my hometown to see family and just be closer to the beaches. We today went to the beach because it was burning hot outside. It was me, Alexander, Mom, Dad, and my sister, her husband, and her 2 kids who aren't that important to the story. We set up our spot, and I quickly went to play with my 3-year-old nephew so my sister and brother-in-law can have a break. My parents played with the 6-month-old farther away. Alexander was also with them, chatting casually. As I was entertaining him with his toy cars sitting in the shallow water, and I guess my swim shorts and tank top were letting the tattoo stick out. I guess I got the attention of a random Karen because one minute I'm playing with my nephew, the next I feel a hand grab my tank top and pull on it. I screamed so loud it scared my little nephew and brought him to tears. I started thrashing and calling for my parents. Alexander's eyes shot in my direction, and he says when he saw that lady holding my shirt and almost pulling it above my head, he, my parents, my sister, and her husband ran over and told her to let go of me. If you're wondering why I'm not fighting her, I was having a full panic attack and couldn't think straight. The next thing I knew, my dad was yelling at her to go away, to not touch me, to go back to her kids, and to never get close to us. My mom was holding the 6-month-old and trying to get me to calm down. I was in tears and shaking. Alexander was helping my nephew calm down and telling him it's okay. My sister and her husband also stood by in case that Karen wanted to try something. A security guard was passing by and saw the argument. He came over and asked my father to step away. He did, and Karen jumped on the officer, saying that my family attacked her for no reason, and I was somehow the one who told them to attack. My dad told his side, and then I was calm, told my side of the story. He just told her to go away and to leave us alone. We left shortly after that. The day was ruined, and I was too emotional to continue. Now we're driving back to my parents, and I feel slightly better. Why? Why did that lady just go up and touch you? It's weird. That's weird. You don't go up and touch other people. It's just weird. Okay, this is the last one. Entitled mother thinks I should move my kid for hers on Fairground ride. Says my DD6 and I are staying at a family resort this week for half term on site. There is a fairground for little kids. DD decided she wanted to go on a ride, which is basically little airplanes which go around in a circle up and down. So we get in the queue. Behind us was EM and her two small boys. As Dee Dee gets to the front of the queue, she gets onto the ride and chooses an airplane in her favorite color, blue. This left only a pink plane for EM's sons, who promptly start screaming and crying that they don't want pink. I heard EM tell them to not ask my Dee Dee to swap with them. My Dee Dee politely declined, leading to more loud screeching from the boys. EM turns to her friend and said loudly enough for me to hear clearly, "Oh, for fuck's sake, why is she being awkward about it? All girls like pink, just fucking swap." It turned to her and the conversation went something like this. "Why do you think the wants of your children trump mine, especially as my daughter was before your sons in the queue? If she had wanted to ride in the pink plane, then she would have chosen it. She's just being a pain in the arse for no reason. She could ride in the pink one. So could your boys. Why should they? It's pink. And? They're boys. And?" EM turns to her friend. She's one of those retards, ooh, I don't like that word, who thinks boys should be girls and girls should be boys. Turns back to me. "Fuck you and your daughter. You're a fucking," I hate this word, retard. "I hope she falls out and breaks her leg." I then reported her to the ride operator, who had also heard the exchange, and radioed his manager as EM was storming off with her screaming sons and friend in tow. Oh my. Yeah, that's an entitled parent right there. I hate that word. I hate that, the R word, the retard word. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So, yeah. Wow. I hate when parents set their boys up like that. Like, "Oh, it's a pink plane. You're a girl." No. Just because there's a pink plane left doesn't make them a girl. It's so stupid to me. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you guys want to read these over yourself, I'm putting the links in the description of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.